Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Every breed brings its own grooming quirks. Shannon and Tanya share their top tips for managing coats, curls, and shedding across the canine spectrum. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. How's it going today?
It's great. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Now, I am excited to have you both back on today. Let's go ahead and dive into this one. So, today's question. From poodles to shepherds and all the fur between, what are the biggest grooming differences between curly-coated and double-coated breeds to kick things off?
Curly coated is your doodle. Let's start with that. The curly coated
Doodle.
part is it's got your poodles, your doodles. It's literally their coats are curly. Some can be more tight, and they need more professional grooming. They need to come into the salon a whole lot more often.
Yeah.
They need to be brushed on a regular daily basis. Versus say German Shepherd, which is a double coated breed, and that's a dog that you can kind of brush, on the fly here and there. They're gonna have seasonal needs, like in the winter
Shedding
and the
season.
summer. Yeah, they're gonna. It's called blowing their coat, but that undercoat will come out. So they have two types. It's not just one basic strand of hair. They have a really soft downy coat, and then they have a wiry one up on the top. And then we're gonna go right down from there to like a bulldog or your dogs that just don't have much hair at all. Bulldogs, Vizslas, Boston Terriers, all of those kinds of dogs. Those are the dogs that you need to worry about washing and protecting in their folds. They're wrinkly, smushed face dogs.
Yep.
They don't have a lot of protection from the elements, so you need to take very good care of their skin.
Folds get gunky.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I would say that's the three basic types of
Yeah.
pet coats that you have to understand. How to take care of them are is a whole bigger issue.
Yep.
Uh, the single coated breeds by far are the easiest, and a myth there is that I have a lab. A lab is a double coated breed, and they shed. And if you get this very cute little lab puppy, I love lab puppies.
So cute.
You have more hair everywhere. And then I have a Vizsla that has no extra hair. She has no undercoat at all. And I actually bought a vehicle that's the same color as her, and my clothes match her because
Yeah.
if I don't, I'm red.
Well, I mean, as someone who has a lab and a Vizsla, I have more Vizsla hair around my house than actual lab hair.
So that can be very, very, very misleading when
Yeah.
you look at an animal and you think, oh, they have a very low coat, so it's going to be easier to take care of. That is not necessarily true. The other thing that, yeah, it's and the curly coated breeds, you look at those, you think they don't shed, especially a doodle. They 100% do shed. They have an
Yep.
undercoat. They may not shed as much as the breeds we just mentioned, but
Yeah.
poodles and doodles have a coat that you need to get. That dead hair needs to be removed. Everybody sheds, even people.
Now, how do you adjust your grooming approach based on breed type? Which dogs are the most difficult to groom?
There's not a dog that's more difficult
Yeah.
or less difficult. I mean, this is kind of what we do. But as far as the difficulty is going to be the longer
Yeah.
haired, curly coated dogs. They require a lot of upfront and back end work. And what I mean by that is the back end is for us, we've got to do a coat prep. and then we've got to wash and dry, and then we've got to prep the coat again. We don't want that coat laying downwards. We want it prepped up so that it's fluffed and ready to groom, so that you get the fluffiest, good-looking cut. We want to straighten every one of those curls out so that it's an all-over even cut. So that's definitely the most involved work. The least amount of work, but every much is needed as the curly coated is the double coated breeds. It's just, I would say most of that double coated is going to be on the back end. So that's a quick backbrush nails, but we've got to work really hard at getting to the skin on those dogs. They
A
had
lot of brushing.
that is labor intensive. It is literally, I mean, we are just pulling dead hair. We will get sometimes as much hair out of these dogs as they are size wise.
Yeah.
It's
I've done it before. It's
yeah.
very satisfying.
And
but
that goes for your Pomeranians,
Yep.
your little tiny dogs, and not just your German Shepherds and your Akitas and, your Labs. And it is a Husky. All of those things are various sizes. Your little breeds that have just as much double coated breed. I have a picture on our website of a Pomeranian that he's sitting in, all you can see is his hair, and everything I've pulled out of him, you can't even see
bigger
the
than
dog.
him.
It's just hair. It is amazing. And it's time consuming, but more, it's labor intensive there. So that is very hard on your dog as well. People don't realize that you have a doodle that you want 6 to 7 inches of hair on. That 6 or 7 inches of hair has to be brushed out.
Yep.
And it has to be brushed out under a low minimal heat of drying, and constantly, and on that table from very wet till it's very dry. The double coated breeds can take a break in between because we're not worried about prepping that coat for an in-depth finish. We're more worried about getting down to the skin and then pulling and removing the dead hair out. So both require a lot of table time. One requires more pulling and tugging, where the other is just, it's about fluffing it up. So it's using the right tools, making sure you don't brush burn, and it's just a lot of work on that dog. For anybody that's had either like a color correction, or you have really long hair, or you have really curly thick hair, and you only wash it once a week. It's that every day for these dogs.
So my other question for you is, are there any breeds that surprise you with how much care they actually need?
Oh, yes. I would say the breeds that surprise me the most are we're going to go with the Labs, and honestly, cats. I'm going to go with cats. Always surprise me at how much hair I get out of a cat. Um,
I agree. It's a lot.
we do a lot of cat baths in here, and I expect it from the dogs because we do them every day. But a cat that comes in that looks like it's got no hair, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be so easy. We're going to do these nails. We're going to give them a quick bath. And then I brush for hours and hours and hours on some of
You'll
these cats.
never get all that hair out.
And it's just crazy to me. It is so much hair on these cats. So I would say, me being surprised, I would say, coming from the viewpoint of when you buy or you get a dog from the lab, that you're not expecting any kind of those lab pit mixes. You're going to be shocked at how much hair we pull out. Labs have that's my number one go-to.
Mine are Westies. Like, they
They're
shed a
cottony.
ton. They shed a ton, and they're cottony.
And a soft coat and Wheaten. That's another one that's really, really, you're like, wow, that dog didn't look like it had as much hair, but once you fluff those up and get them, they have quite a bit. So yeah, there's a lot of deception going on with these dog breeds. They pop in looking one way, when they leave, I feel like they look neater and cleaner, but I don't feel like the owner genuinely appreciates how much time and work and effort that we took to do that, because they're not seeing that. We don't bag up the hair and give it to them, although we should. But it's really surprising that it's the dog just looks so much better when they go home, and you can feel it. the huskies and they know there's a lot of hair there, but without really actually seeing it, the underwhelming breeds are, they're the Westies, they're the labs, they're the ones
Yeah.
like they're just here for a bath. Yeah, they smell good, they look good, but you can't really,
You don't see the wall in
yeah,
the back that's covered with their
you
hair.
don't see how much work we've done. My brushes at home, no lie, are full of dog hair. Like
Yeah.
my hair
Yeah.
brushes.
Mine are too.
For me, just brushing my hair when I go home because I have so much hair in them.
It weaves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully we've answered some of those questions. Yeah. We've had a lot of dog bloopers today, so I apologize for any of those.
Yeah.
Working with live animals, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Some loud ones today.
Well, Shannon and Tanya, thanks for walking us through the fur jungle with style, smarts, and a little bloopers today, too.
No problem. We're here for the free bloopers.
We'll catch you next time on Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.